Mountain Moving Faith. This is my latest book. And if you want to learn how you can move mountains, life has many mountains. While this journey, you will encounter mountains and you wonder, how can I move mountains? This is a book to read. And it took me time to research, to pray, and to wait on God and look at the scriptures and what Jesus talked about moving mountains. And this book is quite a story, it's quite an inspiration. It is quite something that will change your life. So order your copy today. We can send it to you wherever you are in this country. We will be able to send this book to you on Mountain Moving Faith. Call that number or send a message and our team will be able to ship it to you wherever you are. There's a book to read. You can also buy for your friend, for a family as a gift. And I have no doubt they will thank you and they will be always thankful for what you have done for them. So God bless you as you read this book, Mountain Moving Faith.
Welcome once again to Kingdom Business Network. We're so much glad to be coming to you live and direct from Faith Today Television. And in case you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, we welcome you. Tag a friend, welcome them to this wonderful and exciting program on business. We are here because of you. We value so much and we value the engagement that you always have with you on a weekly basis on this station. Don't touch that dial, because today we want to discuss matters business growth toolbox. So we want to give you a toolbox that will equip you to run your business, to understand, to analyze your business, and to see what are the issues that you can improve on, what are you doing well, and how can you model your business to be a successful and super business for growth. And to enable us do that is one and only Pastor Geoffrey Kilonzo, who has been with us for the last 2 other sessions, and he has a lot of insight on business. He's a wonderful consultant, and he has such a wonderful following on TikTok. My goodness. You need to follow him. So welcome, Pastor Kilonzo.
Thank you very much.
And on my immediate left is Enoch, my co-host.
Okay.
Welcome, Enoch.
Thank you so much, viewers. My name is Enoch from the House of Faith, and I'm really excited. Like Doc said, we are really dining on so much truth here, and we are getting better. First of all, I want to welcome back all the women who attended the Daughters of Faith conference. It was really massive. There was so much to learn: personal financial management, business, so much edifications in the spirit. It is such an exciting sessions they had. If you have not really gotten time to listen in, please go forward and subscribe Faith Today TV and Facebook. There is so much to learn. Then talking about the toolbox, I'm really excited because when you look at our space as the Christians, it is not true that everyone who is in business is really making it out there successfully. Yeah, and it's important to understand the tools, because it's either we are struggling, we are working so hard to get the results, or we are really taking a long time to break even vis-a-vis our brothers in the other side of faith. So having this discussion, and much more important, the young people, you don't want to waste a lot of time. You want to learn, you want to be effective whenever you engage in this entrepreneurship journey. So I'm really excited, Doc. I can't wait to dive in.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
Pastor Kilonzo.
Thank you.
You can tell the viewer, what do you do,
Thank you, and good morning, viewers. It's again an amazing time. I'm always pleased to be here on KBN, Kingdom Business Network.
The place to be.
That one.
Yeah. And I'm excited to be talking to us because, like Enoch has said, and I want to reiterate that, a lot of believers, Christian believers, have replaced knowledge with prayer, and those two cannot be replaceable, or you cannot replace one for the other.
My people perish because of lack of knowledge.
People perish for lack of knowledge.
Not because of lack of prayer.
Exactly. We pray. In Kenya, we pray. Africa, we pray. We pray until we beat Satan with stones. But then when it comes to knowledge, we are lagging behind. And this is very important. It's time to take your pen and a notebook and take notes, because knowledge, the systems of the world are systems, and the way we operate in the world, you can actually, the systems work both for the believer and the non-believer. So how a business works, whether it's for an unbeliever or a believer, it is the same. It works for Elon Musk, it will work for a preacher. So things of faith are things of faith. Things of financial management are financial management issues, and you must have the knowledge. So I am a consultant in business space, and I'm a born again. I'm a preacher of the gospel. Someone wrote to me, I think on TikTok, "Oh, I didn't know you were a preacher." I am a preacher of the gospel. Just that I teach business, because if I keep preaching to you, pray we are going to heaven, then you have 50 years to cover here on earth, waiting to go to heaven. You'll have missed a lot of time.
Exactly.
And when you get to heaven, you'll be asked, what are you doing here? You did nothing on the earth, because you still have crowns to be crowned when you get there. Umekuja mapema. What are you doing here?
Supposed to be productive down
You
there.
should be productive down there. So we are not going to heaven tomorrow. And even if you're going to heaven tomorrow, there's still time. We don't know when Jesus is coming. Before he comes, he said, do business till I come. Another translation says, occupy till I come. So we're going to do business till he comes, occupy till he comes. And that's why we are here. So thank you so much. I'm excited to be invited on this space. Thank you.
Wonderful. You didn't tell the viewer what you do.
All right. I said I'm a consultant. I'm a business consultant.
Yes.
And business consultants basically means I do trainings on business. I run a program called Start and Improve Your Business.
Yes.
If you go to my website, www.icst.ke, that's my company, you'll find what we do. We train trainers on how to train entrepreneurs. We train them on content and methodology. Number two, we train entrepreneurs and potential entrepreneurs. And we train them on how to start businesses, package them into a business plan. Training people on idea generation has been ignored for a long time. People think you are smart to start a business, and so we duplicate. In Africa, we do what we call Me Too. Someone has a salon, Me Too. Someone has a barber shop, Me Too. So your auntie was doing this, Me Too. So we're trying to push people from the Me Too mentality and telling them idea generation is an art by itself. It's a skill you have to learn. Then packaging that idea into a business plan, bankable business plan. And that business plan is what you can present to the banks so that you can get funding. And actually the tool we're going to talk about today is one of the ways you can model your business to get funding or to get partners. Then how do you grow that business? We cover 7 manuals in our trainings. Costing, record keeping, buying for your business, people and productivity, marketing, planning for your business, greening your business, and actually there's 8th one now, digitizing your business. Those are the trainings that we cover.
Wonderful.
And if you follow us on my Instagram, my Facebook, my website, you see the announcements of trainings that we are. Like now we have a training of trainers coming on the 2nd of September. So that's what we do.
Wonderful. That's what I wanted to hear, because I want people to benefit and learn from the people we bring around.
Sure.
You have such a wonderful wealth of experience and knowledge, and we would really want you to share with that with the people who watch us. So let's dive into what we are going to discuss. And for those who are watching us today, please, as you've heard, have a pen and a paper, have your phone, send to us the questions on those numbers provided. We shall be answering questions after the first break. and you'll be blessed. So we are going to discuss about the business growth toolbox.
Yeah.
What is it?
Great. Thank you. Let me start by saying this. Business modeling is one of the things that have been ignored for a long time. People start businesses and they just do it the way they think it should be done. But businesses are modeled. You need to model, and modeling here is like packaging your business, putting the right things in the right place. It's like a car. If you're driving a car, there's a wheel, there's an engine, there's a door, and you can't put a wheel where it doesn't belong, or screw a nut in the wrong place. There will be noise, there'll be issues. There's something we call alignment.
Yeah.
When you're driving a car, alignment. If the car is not aligned, it will be veering off the line or of the road. So business modeling is like aligning your business to function properly. And so we have a tool. There are many tools, but there's one tool that we recommended last time, and it's by the gentleman called Alex Osterwalder. That's a word.
Yeah.
Alex Osterwalder. In fact, he developed this tool as part of his research. He was doing his research on business development, and he came up with this tool called the Business Model Canvas. The Business Model Canvas, we're going to look at it and what it means. It's actually a strategic management template that helps businesses to describe, to design, and analyze their businesses.
Yes.
So you can describe your business, you can design your business, and analyze the business using this tool. And it helps businesses at different stages. It can be during the starting stage or the growth stage. So you can use it when you're starting, you can also use it when you're growing. It cuts across. If you're in your growth stage, or your business is already growing, I would want to first of all say this: you need to understand where your business is, because it is the understanding of where your business is that helps you to know where you want to be.
Yeah.
If you don't know where you are now, you can never define your tomorrow or decide what you'll be tomorrow. And so the tool first helps you to understand the gaps within. My business has been doing well, or my business has been declining. These two we are going to share today will help you to understand what are the gaps, because we're going to share them in form of questions. Each block, there are 9 blocks, will give you questions that you need to ask yourself. And because I love that approach, because it helps you to actually question yourself. If it's customer segment, where am I? To help you, and I'm a business coach, and this is a tool I use in coaching. It's called the Grow Model. I'm preparing you so that when we share the tools, you know how to apply them properly. The Grow Model is what helps you to grow. We use it in coaching, and it's an abbreviation. It means G stands for goals. You need to ask yourself, what were my goals for my business? When did I want to go, or what did I want to achieve? And that understanding of the goal, because when you're starting your business, there's something you saw. There's a place you saw you wanted to go to, or there's something you wanted to achieve. There's a dream you had. There's a need. Remember, we've talked about the needs. Yeah. There's a need you wanted to solve. That's a goal. But then in the course of the business, the reality checked in. So the second one is R, which stands for reality. What actually happened? When I started, where I am, the reality. Be very honest with yourself on reality. So as we discuss this tool, be realistic on where you are. This is what I wanted to achieve. This is what happened. Then the O stands for options. What options do I have, or did I have? The reality came. What options did I have, and what options do I have? So, Doc, we're trying to see, if we talk about the 9 blocks, what was the goal for this block? What is the reality about this block? What options did I have, and do I have to change the situation? And finally, W stands for way forward. So we are not just talking to you to give you a story. We want you to analyze your goal based on each block, the reality based on each block, the options you have based on each block, and the way forward. So as we finish this show today, someone needs to come up with a very clear plan on the way forward. What are you going to do after this show? We don't want to be here giving people stories. You know the scripture that says, it's like you're playing a guitar to some boys in the city square. Exactly. So please make sure you develop a way forward. When I train, I tell people, develop an action plan. What are you going to do after this show? So let's delve to this, the blocks.
And before we do that, yes, I know you're talking about the blocks. I call them components. So they're basically the components of a business. They are blocks that we're discussing.
The components.
Now, these components, are they applicable to a small size business? Because maybe a viewer here is wondering, okay, you're taking us to strategy. Is it applicable to a small business?
Thank you so much, Doc. In fact, when we use this block, we'll focus on the macro, micro, and small enterprises. Macro are the smallest. You know, the traders, the mama boga, you know, a startup, someone who has just started, it applies because at the end of the day, the blocks define the business. And any business, no matter the size, is a business.
Is a business.
So you don't need to be, to put yourself off and say, this is not for me. It will simplify it in a manner that even the hawker can still define his business. Even Mama Boga, you can still define your business. So this cuts across everybody. Sometimes we offer some business plan templates which are very complicated. And this tool here simplifies business planning. So apply it to your business, and that's why I said, when we discuss it, find your reality and come up with options and way forward. So it applies, Doc.
So what I'm hearing you saying is that even if you have a small business,
yes,
use this tool.
Yeah.
Think big. Don't say it is for big corporations or big organizations. Because even if you're small and use this tool, that's how you actually create a platform for growth.
To grow.
But a lot of people, they don't do business planning because they think it's a small organization. You see, and a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs who are sole proprietors of businesses, they start a business and he doesn't want to be accountable. He doesn't want to bother about many things because he's saying, pesa ni yangu iko kwa mfuko.
Thank you.
So a cousin comes, a sister comes, take 5 sodas, take 3 bread. You know, I know where it has gone to, no accounting, no nothing, you know. But the moment you start to think big, then you start to use tools, which then starts to show you how is your business model working. And let's dive to the first component or block.
Thank you.
What is
mentioned something very important.
Yes.
The lean startup. You know, people think starting small is living small. You can have a big vision, a mega business. And I will talk about Dangote. We all know about Aliko Dangote. The Nigerian.
Business magnate.
He is the richest man in Africa by virtue of statistics. He started his shop right in the village and he called it Dangote International.
He was selling cereals, I think.
Yes, right in the village. Dangote International. Today, his business is not in the village. It's the biggest empire of business across the African continent.
Oil refining, mining,
manufacturing. I mean, it's everywhere. So you can start small, but have a bigger picture. And the only way to have this bigger picture is to use some of these tools to draw that bigger picture and start. So we call it lean startup. Start small but aim high. And that's very important. So the first model, and we're going to look at the 9. I mean, we can focus on a few for now. The first one is what we call the customer segment or the customer targeting. Now, when you start a business, the first thing that you have in mind is a customer. You are in business for the customer because of the customer. If you don't know whether you have a customer waiting to buy from you, then you're not in business. Because actually business is solving customer needs. So the first thing is, who are these customers that you're solving their needs? The first question I want you to ask yourself is, what customers does your business target? I told you need to take notes. So the first question, answer these questions as we do the show. What customers does your business target? Do you know the customers? Now, when we ask what customers, we're not saying you don't know there are people. You may be in an estate and there are people passing, but not everybody passing by your shop is your customer. You need to understand customers by age. What we call the demographics. Understand customers by age. Who buys from your business? What age bracket? What kind of people? Are they gender, for example? Are you targeting women? Are you targeting men? Are you targeting children? Are you targeting middle age? Because different customers relate with different information and messaging. Even when you're communicating, you need to communicate a language that a particular customer segment understands.
Yeah.
If, for example, we are now in the age of Gen Zs, if your business is targeting Gen Zs, I mean, sorry, I hope I'm right. Yeah. These guys don't wear the suits
they don't.
we're wearing. My son is 14 and he wears a hoodie and covers himself, and I'm like,
they're very suspicious of people in suits. I hear.
I'm telling you.
Meaning we are in trouble.
We are in trouble. In fact, I'm speaking in a children's conference, teens conference in the afternoon, and I'm going to change.
You have to change.
But I'm going to change.
As like they think you're a convert.
So you need to understand what customer segment are you targeting. Their language. Even churches where they're dealing with young people, even the communication, you have to tailor your communication to communicate to a particular age group. If it's the age, our age, are we millennial? Yeah, millennial, right?
Yeah,
some of us are
out of that bracket.
Yeah, so
Generation X.
It's X. So if whichever generation you're dealing with, they understand and they relate differently. Yeah. So that is what you call customer targeting. Yeah. Target well first, and then communicate, package your business, including branding, the colors you use, the location you're in, the platforms you use to reach these customers. That is what we call customer targeting. You cannot, I'm told the social media platforms are segmented into the generations. So X is for a particular generation, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I was with someone yesterday and she told me, oh, Facebook is for old guys.
Yeah, for old guys, yeah.
Someone said, yeah.
Gen X.
Gen X.
Yeah.
Is it X?
That is ours.
Yeah.
And the guys of the 60s and early 70s.
Because I was asking them, why don't you post on Facebook? Oh, my auntie is there, my uncle is there, and they don't understand my language. So you need to understand who is buying for your business, or who are you targeting. So what are the current customers' needs? So that's the first question is, what are the customers you're targeting? Number two is, what are their needs? So you don't just go with a blanket solution. Every customer segment has specific needs, and your business must solve those needs. For instance, if you're running a baby shop, you need to understand what are the baby clothes that are now in the market, because different segments have different fashions and times and ways they deal with things. So you need to understand what are their current needs and meet those needs. Don't sell your business or don't set up your business with your mindset. I am millennial. If I'm selling to or I'm talking to the Gen Zs, it's not my thinking, it's from their thinking. So do business from the customer point of view, not your point of view. Otherwise you'll be communicating the wrong thing. So I am on TikTok. When I talk on TikTok, I don't talk to the millennials. I talk to the Gen Zs. I talk to that generation. So you have to tailor your business in that manner. The other question you need to ask about the customer segment is, how does the business identify those needs? Because feedback is key. When you're targeting a particular customer segment, can you get some reaction from them to know how you continue? Are we meeting your needs? So if we are not, what can we do? If we are meeting the needs, how can we improve? Because business, there's a continuous improvement in every business that needs to be there. So I would advise that you continually get this feedback from them. Whichever way, whether it's on social media, tell them to give you feedback. Someone who bought your product last week or so, or got a service, get feedback from them. And finally, you need to do feasibility studies. Feasibility studies helps you to continually understand what other offerings are in the market. Are there other people coming to market and bringing some different products and services that are competing with ours? So that is customer segmentation. So once you segment your customer, this is also about income levels. It's not just about the demographics. Even income levels. And lifestyle. You might be targeting a particular group who have a different level of income. So if Enoch lives in Lavington, all right, Lavington, Kileleshwa, Upper Hill, Milimani, on the other side, we call it the other side of town.
That's why we
I
came.
don't want to know.
The other one.
You need to know what is, because some of these people don't buy because of price. They buy value. There are other people, and that's why the conversation, sometimes the conversation is not about price. When you're dealing with the high end, it's about value, quality. If you're targeting the other side, and let me tell you something, you don't have to feel bad because you're targeting the other side, the lower side of the market, the bottom of the pyramid. That is a market that discusses price. So before they buy, they ask you how much.
How much? Yeah.
Not how much value will it give
And
me.
the majority, by the way.
Is actually how much and also the quantity.
And the
Two things are very important.
how much it costs and how much is it.
Yes.
Including food.
Yeah, even food. They want a bigger quantity. So that's why actually, when you look at even products like detergents, the Omo and the toast and all that, you have to blow it up so that you increase what you call the bulk density, so that it appears a lot. Yet the weight is still the same. So the more you can make it fura kidogo, the better
It appeals to that customer.
customer.
And it's very important. So understand your customer, because packaging will be determined by the customer segment. Pricing will be determined by the customer segment. These are the people who understand the language of discounting. They understand the language of 999.9. Psychological pricing. So when you understand your customer segment, now you are ready to go. So that is a first block. I don't know whether you want to add on something on that.
What I would say is that we have a lot of businesses, when they get started, they are selling to everyone, who comes.
Exactly.
And it's really not advisable, in my opinion, because yes, you will sell to everyone who comes to you. Yes, you will sell to anyone who is interested. But in the process of doing that, try and identify what is your biggest segment or group of customers that you can target. Because trying to sell to every other person, you'll lose your messaging to these customers. But if you can actually try and ask yourself, yes, I get 20 customers. Out of the 20, for example, if 15 of them are women and they have this need, might be they are educated women, or might be they are Gen Zs or whatever, the rest of the 5 might be there's a one millennial, or there's one Gen X, etc. There's some kids and all that. Don't bother about those ones. Tailor yours to the majority, the big segment, the big group of customers that buys to you. So that if you want to put a Facebook post or a post on Twitter or whichever platform you use, then use the language of your biggest group that buys from you. That way, you're actually doing what we call targeting. You're not selling to mass, you are going to a particular specific group. And as you grow that one, the rest can still come and buy from you.
That's true.
You don't stop anybody from buying, but target somebody.
That's true. It's very important. And so customer targeting is the first and not the most important, but very important component.
We can,
I am learning actually, and that is very important, because when you talk about tools, that is what we need to really refine our approach. Matters. You've talked about digital, Facebook, because today people who enter business, like for us the young people, you really want to spread your business everywhere. Now with this understanding to help us really refine. And
we can move to the second one.
The second one is value proposition.
Value proposition.
Value proposition. Now,
what is value?
When it comes to value proposition explains why customers should do business with you and not your competitors. Simple. And you must know that. Because we've talked about customer segment, but within that segment, your business might be competing with other businesses. So you need to identify, why do customers come to me and not to the other competitors? And for you to do that, you need to ask yourself, what value do customers get from my business? And value here, it could be quality, quantity, price, location, convenience, customer service, something that makes you stand out. Now, once you identify that thing that makes you stand out in the midst of your competition, you need to build on the value. Keep building on that. Keep capitalizing on that. That should be your messaging. We are best at this. We are best at this. We market or we publicize our business based on our value. There are so many other restaurants, but we are unique in this. So that is what we call value proposition. Identify it. It's your selling proposition. It's your key selling point.
Why should a customer come to you?
Why should customers come to you? And we are talking about in relation to competition. Because if you don't understand, then you'll be lost in competition. People will be going here, there, and they will never know why they should come to you. Then how do you know you are delivering that value? You need to have what we call the key performance indicators of your value proposition. If they come to me, for example, because we serve them well, our waiters, for example, if it's a restaurant, serve with a smile, then you have to teach everybody you employ to keep that smile. Because the day that smile disappears, customers will start walking away. So you have to keep training your workers and the people you work with. If you are alone, keep doing what you're doing, because the day you stop, people stop buying. People have many options, and we are living in a very informed era where people have many options of what you're offering. So the reason they come to you, keep doing it. The day you stop, they'll stop coming to you. So that's what I could say about value proposition.
Wonderful, wonderful. Can we move to the third one?
Thank you. The third one is channel selection. So now the first one is customer segmentation. The second one is value proposition. Then you need to define how do my customers want to be reached. I know I'm reaching this particular segment. They are this age group. They live this area. And the question is, how do they want to be reached? And here we are asking, how do your customers want to be reached? How do you reach your customers? Because you have to know how you're reaching them, how they want to be reached, so you can develop a plan on how to reach them. Some of the customers you're targeting, and I talked about drop shipping in one of my videos. Some of the customers you're targeting don't actually require a physical location. Maybe they are online. If they are online, it could be a way of cutting your cost and say, look, can I go online so that I can reach these customers? They order online. You have a place somewhere, and you realize 80% or 90% of your customers order online, and then you deliver. So do you really need that physical location? You don't need it. It's a cost to yourself. So you need to define that. Then are there new channels that you can improvise to reach your customers better? And that is how you define your channels of distribution.
So you're basically then talking about how do you deliver your products and services to your customers.
To your customers.
And then how do you then optimize the distribution and communication channels to ensure your offerings reach customers effectively and efficiently.
Exactly.
At a very low cost.
At a very low cost. And channels can be broadened up, even including the process. Are you a wholesaler? Are you a middle person? So are your products or services in a manner that they can be offered through another channel? So again, study wide and see this. Can we take the fourth one?
We can take
before
the fourth
we take
one.
a break?
Yes.
Customer relationships. The customer relationships here is a customer is the most important, and I want to quote this. Can I quote Mahatma Gandhi? Let me read this quote by Mahatma Gandhi. It says, a customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it. Mahatma continued to say, we are not doing him a favor by serving him. He is doing us a favor by giving us the opportunity to serve him. So once we have that Mahatma Gandhi mindset, that our customer is not a visitor, he's part of the business.
Yes.
We are not doing him a favor or her a favor to serve him. He's actually doing us a favor to be in the business. Then you can develop a relationship with that customer. So have you established a manner or a relationship with your customers? And how can you improve the relationship? Is it data that you need and communicate well with your customer? Is it follow-up, a call after service? Is it a free after sales service that you need to offer? Those are methods of relationship we can create so that we can improve our businesses.
Does customer loyalty and satisfaction come into establishing a relationship with customers?
Exactly.
And how do you use them?
Customer loyalty, and you see, this is quite a process. For you to actually retain customers or have customer loyalty, we have what we call customer experience. from the time the customer sees your product or service, either online or wherever it is, to the call he or she makes, how that call is responded to, until that person comes to your shop or your business, how the relationship is, the engagements are done, the sales is done, the product is taken home by the customer. If there's any complaint, how do you handle? That whole process is what we call experience. Now, the experience a customer has with your business is what determines loyalty. If I had a good experience, then I'll be a loyal customer. And loyalty is defined by either repeat customers or referrals. If you're getting referrals from a customer, it means they are happy. If they come back to buy again, then they are happy. If they did not come, please find out why.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Pastor Kilonzo. I think we're going to take a short break, just 2 minutes. Prepare those questions, send those questions to the numbers which are running on your screen now. Because after this short break, Pastor Kilonzo will take your questions and will answer them. With that, God bless you. Stay tuned and tag a friend for the second part of this program. Thank you.
Okay, asante. Nilikisajili kitabu ambacho kinaitwa 7 Keys to Success, ama kuna kanuni funguo 7 if you like it, ambazo zitakuletea ushindi na kufaulu maishani. Wote, wewe na mimi, tunataka kufaulu, lakini pia kuna njia ya kufaulu. Ukisoma hiki kitabu ambacho nilikiandika kwa kufanya utafiti, kwa maombi mengi, kuangalia neno la Mungu, I have no doubt ya kwamba hiki kitabu kitabadilisha maisha yako. Nilikuwa naongea na mchungaji rafiki yangu, akaniambia nilisoma hicho kitabu, sasa ninafundisha watu wangu kupitia ujuzi, maarifa, hekima ambayo nilipata kwa hiki kitabu. Kwa hivyo unaweza pia nunulia watu wengine, na akaniambia alinunulia hata viongozi wake, na wamekuwa wakisoma, wakaweka kwa library yao, wanasoma hiki kitabu. Sina mashaka, nina uhakika itabadilisha maisha yako na utabarikiwa. Tuma message ama upige simu kwa hiyo namba, na naweza kuwasiliana na wewe, na utapata hiki kitabu, utatumiwa, usome na ubariki pia watu wengine. Asante. Mungu akubariki unaposoma 7 Keys to Success, and you will succeed. Thank you.
Come once again to the second part of this program. We had a very, very exciting first part whereby we're discussing business growth toolbox, and we looked at the business model canvas. We looked at the first 4 components of this toolbox, and we have got 5 more to go. And with us to facilitate that is Pastor Geoffrey Kilonzo, and we can move on to the 5th one. And as we do that, send those questions. We will be picking those questions immediately after the components are over.
Thank you. So let's move to the 5th tool in the toolbox, or the block in the blocks, and it's revenue streams. So revenue streams, we are talking about a business, and I give an example for a restaurant, right? If you're running the baby shop, goods, ask yourself, when does my business make money from? How do I get money? And when you talk about revenue streams, we talk about the either services or products that you're selling. Are they enough? Have you exhausted the streams that can give you money within your business? And I'll give an example of a manufacturer, someone who is doing some value addition. Maybe you're manufacturing soap. Some people are into soap manufacturing. Or you're processing juice or something like that. There's a lot of waste we produce. Sometimes you throw that waste. I did a business analysis for a customer of mine who was into mattress manufacturing, and somewhere in Kitui, it's in the outskirts of Kitui town.
Yes.
And he has a nice factory of mattresses. Now, when we analyzed his business, we realized he had waste. You know, the chemicals that make mattresses come in the metallic drums, the steel drums. So he had piled the drums somewhere as a heap, and he was wondering where to take them. Sometimes he was selling them to people. Then he said, hold on. What about if you started fabricating these drums and just have as a Juakali section? Do you know he started making wheelbarrows, spades, djembes, so many steel products, the jikos. Within a year,
Yes.
his Juakali fabrication business
Get
was
bigger.
giving him more money than the mattresses.
Yes.
So those are what you call the streams of income. Narrow down, look at your business, and I call it, introspection. Look deep into your business and find out, are there areas I'm not utilizing that I could make money with? And a proper analysis of your business can show you other streams of income. The second thing about streams of income is pricing. Am I pricing my services or my products well to give me enough? Maybe when you're pricing your business, and pricing here is very important. We'll talk about it when it come to costing, because some people price because of the competition, but there are many reasons why you should price your business or your products the way you price them. And we'll look at it when it comes to costing. Then how do you arrive at the prices? Do you just set the prices, or are there reasons for the prices, and do you generate enough revenues? Now, what happens when you don't generate enough revenues? You come to a cash crisis or a cash flow crisis. And revenue streams will help you to increase the money in. Because at the end of the day, you have overhead expenses, and these are overhead expenses don't change. If you're paying rent, you're paying rent. If you're paying salaries, you're paying salaries. Whether you're in business or you're not in business. So the more you increase your revenue streams, let me just mention this. I was sharing with someone yesterday, and it was just a mentorship session. And I said, you're very good, you have information. She's a lawyer. You are a lawyer, and you actually have a law firm. But what do you do when you're not in court? What do you do when you're not doing something for a client? Why don't you take up a part-time lecturing job? Because you are a resource as a person.
Yeah.
And this knowledge, if you don't release it, it will actually start feeling bored, and you're still feeling like I wasted time in school. So taking up part-time coaching, training, lecturing, it's a revenue stream for your business. And this can also be other services like mentorship. So try and increase your revenue streams as much as you can. If you have time after closing your shop that you can also take up something else and do something else differently, try and maximize your time. That way you will not come into a financial crisis. I preach, I teach, I train, I sell real estate. Because there's time and you can do so much. So that is important. Then key resources.
Before we go to key resources,
please.
Let's take on the pricing bit, because I see a lot of businesses where they do their pricing wrong. Actually, you go and analyze, and you realize that they're actually selling at a loss, but they don't know. Because they did not put in the required margins. They did not factor in all their costs.
Yes.
Or they are lenient, or they sometimes, they put it this way.
Yeah.
Somebody is required to go and do a delivery. Just using a small a day-to-day example. You're supposed to go and deliver, might be something worth 2,000 shillings.
Yeah.
Then you put it in your car and use fuel of 700 shillings. But when you're doing your costing, you do not factor in the fuel, because it appears like after all, I could have still used my car to go and deliver it. So net, you start to realize that this person is actually selling at a loss, but he does not know. What can you advise such kind of pricing practices?
Thank you, Doc, because pricing has killed many businesses. Poor pricing.
Poor pricing, yes.
We'll start by what are the factors that we should consider when we are pricing. Number one, consider costs.
all costs.
All cost.
Yeah.
And when you talk about costing, we look at if you're doing manufacturing, what are your direct costs into that production? What are the indirect costs into that production? Then that aside, we talk about material cost and other, variable cost. Look at your overhead cost. And overheads, people have difficulties calculating their overheads because some things are paid annually, but they'll still narrow down to that one product.
Yes.
If you're paying a license or you're paying insurance or you're paying a bank loan, you need to look at how much is it per year, for example, if it's per year. Divide it into monthly and then again break it down to that one unit that you're selling. Like you've given an example. You're delivering 10 units, for example. You're dealing with baby shop, baby clothes, got an order of 10 units and you're delivering in Kilimani. When you deliver in Kilimani, the amount of fuel you've used, you should divide it by the units you delivered and apportion each cost to that one unit.
Yes.
So that when you're pricing that, you're factoring in the cost of fuel that you spend. There's the cost of buying. So if you're dealing with goods, buying and selling, there's a cost of buying, the cost of delivering, which is all that transport, then the overhead, you stocked it in a store. Divide the cost of those units you dealt with or you sold per month into the rent per month. So my rent is 10,000. I sold 100 units. I should divide 10,000 by 100 units and apportion that cost to one unit.
To one unit.
So once I know the total cost of this unit is X, what the other factor do you consider? What profit do you want to put on it? Because if you sell it at cost, you've not made profit.
Not profit.
So you need to add, I'm putting on X percentage of profit. Let's say 30%. So my total cost is 1,000. 30% is 300. So cost plus profit is 1,300. But is that enough? No. How are the competitors pricing the same? Because if you're selling at 1,300 and competitors are selling at 1,100, then there's something wrong. Because customers will not come to you, they will go to your competitors.
And I think also, my Pastor Geoffrey.
Yes.
There's a story to that, what you've just mentioned. If your competitor is selling exactly the same product, let's say at 100 or 200, slightly lower than yourself, you need to ask yourself questions.
Why?
And one of the questions you need to ask yourself, at what price or at what cost are they getting their products? The second question you need to ask yourself is, how are they minimizing their cost structure?
Exactly.
To be able to sell at this lower price.
That's true.
Because a lot of people don't ask themselves those questions.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You might be taken by a ride by the distributor who is supplying you, might be selling to you at 500, and the other one is selling to the other one at 200 shillings because maybe he's buying quantity. Those are the questions we need to interrogate.
And sometimes we hate on our competitors.
Yeah.
Oh, and a spoiled market. They're not spoiling
Or
markets.
he's not paying tax.
Study them. And this is the benchmarking. Study your competitors, like you're saying. And then if you need to negotiate more with your suppliers, do. Like you say, if you want to leverage on economies of scale, buy more, reduce on the price, on the cost, then increase. So there is a lot of conversation around that. Then the other thing is, much as we have talked about costs, talked about profit, talked about competitors, there's a question of how much the customer is willing to pay. Because you may have all this cost and other, but then the customer says,
It's too much.
I can't pay. So these are factors. And it's a study. You must understand your business. And when you look at cost structures, we'll look at how then do you lower your costs. Because if my costs are too high, maybe the person you're competing with doesn't have a store like you. Maybe they stock their stuff in the house. So you must know, because something is not just right. So pricing is a very key skill.
Wonderful. We can go to the sixth.
The sixth one.
Key resources.
Key resources employed. Your business requires resources. And talking about resources here, we ask ourselves, what key resources are necessary for your business success? Now, resources are not just people. We have equipment, the resources. We have materials, these are resources. Anything that is that helps you to do your business
Yes.
is a resource.
And I think that is what is really most important right now, because talking of tools,
Yeah.
I am really interested. Carry on.
Yes. So the moment you understand the resources that will help my business become better. Let me take an example of what I do on TikTok, for example. I shoot. It's not a business. For me, TikTok is just sharing of information. But I can't do it well without lighting, without a nice camera, without someone to edit, so that's how you analyze resources. Now, how do you arrive at the resources that you need? Number one, write down all the activities of your business. When we wake up, open the shop, we do 1, 2, 3, all the way to the closure and the following morning. By listing down, you see the human resources that you need. 2, the equipment that you need, the premises that you need. Once you do that, now understand what resources do I have and what resources don't I have. The ones that I have, are they giving me a best productivity, or do I need to increase? There are formulas we normally share because your resources define your output. How much you put in defines how much you get out. So is there a way you can increase or improve on your output? Output could either be quality of your production, could be sales that you make, that is output. The money that you make, how do I improve this without increasing the input? Because the input is cost.
It's cost, yes.
When you say, I will do more work by increasing number of employees, you have increased costs to increase output. So your output should continue increasing without necessarily increasing your input. Or else, you can still reduce the input and sustain the same output.
Yes.
Because you have to be in business at the end of the day. So that is very important when it comes to key resources. You can collapse some duties to some people. You have 5 employees. Maybe they are 2 are doing something that can be collapsed and be done by 1 person. So you need to utilize your resources to get best output for your business. Number 7, I know you have questions, Doc, is key activities. Actually, now the next one defines, is what I was saying. So what are the critical activities for your business? If you don't understand the activities for your business, 2 things may be bound to happen. 1, you may fail to deliver quality for your customers. Because there are activities that you don't understand you should be doing, that you should be doing. And number 2, you may actually produce low quality of your service or your product. Now, the questions here are, number 1, what critical activities do you need to do well in your business? We are doing so many things. You know that we call busybodies. We are so busy doing so many things. But what are the few things that we do that we need to focus on?
I believe this is tied to delivering on your value proposition.
Thank you.
That thing that you said is your value proposition. That should be the number 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had an interview one time with a friend of mine, the CEO of Optiven, and on my webinars. And I asked him, what exactly does your business do? Because we know you as a real estate company. He told me, Geoffrey, we are not actually real estate companies, a company. We are a sales company. Yeah. That took me really interested, because we thought he sells land, but he's not the best in selling land. He's not good in land and real estate development. They are good in selling the land. So they don't have to buy to sell. They can enter into an agreement with you. You have a piece of land. We are best in selling.
In there.
Yeah.
That is what Dr. Jude does.
Yes. So you may see him everywhere, but his value proposition is selling.
He's good at selling.
He's good at selling. And that's when you list down your key activities, we don't think we are good at this, put it aside. We don't think you'll narrow down to that one thing that you're good at.
And that brings in also another angle. There's some organizations which actually do not even manufacture the product they sell, and they are not interested. Others used to manufacture, they stopped.
Yes.
So they've gotten somebody else to manufacture, they get the products, and then they market.
Can we take Amazon?
That's it.
Amazon, Alibaba. Alibaba is the biggest store globally. But Amazon is Alibaba followed. but they don't own one single equipment.
Yeah.
Not one. Everybody goes to Alibaba, they sell their equipment. So what are you good at? You know, and this may help someone, because you may be good at selling. Then you don't need to have a store.
Yeah.
Just go to the people who have the other products. Tell them, I'm good at selling. Give me your product, I'll market them. Once you get a customer, you get the product, you sell. You've cut your cost a lot. So know your business and do it well. And I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Uber doesn't own one single car.
Exactly.
They are just a website or whatever, a service provider. Number 8 is key partners.
Yeah.
If you're able to get to know who are the key partners for my business, now you begin to develop. Number 1, you need to ask yourself, what do you need? Who do you need to succeed in your business? And partners, you're talking about suppliers, financial partners, investors. Who do you need to succeed? I was doing a video, I think yesterday or the other day, about partnerships, and I said, when your business is declining, you may want to think about partnerships. People want to die alone. Yet you would have partnered with someone who brings in some fresh resources, ideas, and new markets that you can tap into. So sometimes you may want to get some partners in your business, or get investors or suppliers who can work with you. You don't have to get, it's not about investors only, it's about anybody who is connected to your business. So ask yourself, what partners, suppliers, financials, and all that, how many such partners does your business have, and how many do you need to continue improving? And finally, what we call the cost structures. The cost structures, now we touched on it when we were talking about pricing. Your cost structures is everything cost. Everything cost. Wherever you spend your single coin on is a cost. A good business person writes down all those costs and analyzes them one by one. Ask yourself these questions. What key elements drive the cost for your business?
Yeah.
Number 2 is it, and this one we can give a tip. Is it production? Is it the service offering? Is it transportation? Is it marketing promotion? Or is it labor? Where is your heaviest cost for your business? Then do what you mentioned.
Yeah.
Where can I cut on cost? Because like we said, cost is your input. And if your input is higher than your output, and your output is your profit, revenue, the production, then something is wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
You will not make profit. And the purpose of business modeling is to know how to make your profit.
Wonderful.
That's the most important thing.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Pastor Kilonzo. We get questions now, and thank you, viewers, for actually sending to us. It's quite interesting, and I'll start with an interesting one here. It says, this show is lit, Doc. Name Neema from Thika. Please salimia my family huko Kitengela. On a lighter note. Now, let's go to the serious one. Now, Daktari, are there digital tools or solutions you can recommend for me to run my car dealership? I'm James from Kiambu.
Oh.
Digital tools.
Digital tools.
Or solutions to run a car dealership, yeah.
Well, I think there are available ones already in Kenya. There are platforms that offer car dealers, good platform to sell. Gigi, Cheki, they are there. But again, do you have your own? Because it starts there. Do you have a good social media platform, a presence? Because you cannot grow, especially a car dealer, cannot grow without social media presence. Sometimes, I normally say this, and this is selling now. A good salesperson tells stories. A good salesperson sells stories. If I am a car dealer, and people buy from experts, you can project yourself as an expert in cars. I see some videos that talk about how to know when you're parking your car by reverse, when to know, just tell stories. Or give us stories about the cars. These are Toyota. Break it down. These are Mercedes-Benz. Just tell us what are the features, what are the beauty. Even show some driving experiences. Let me tell you, those stories sell. And people want to buy from someone. Oh, I saw this video and I like it. So tell stories. Don't just tell people, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. Tell people stories. Come out as an expert. Have a website. Be on media platforms where, social media platforms where your customer segment is, and you can grow your business.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I have two questions from two viewers on cosmetics. Let me take the first one. Welcome back, team. I'm Jennifer from Rosters, managing staff and daily operations for my cosmetic shop has been a headache. So managing staff and daily operations.
Okay.
Are there tips on how I can streamline my workflows? And again, on cosmetics, somebody here is, allow me to get there. Yes, Catherine from Juja is saying, can you guide me on essential steps and affordable platforms to sell my cosmetic products?
Steps to sell.
Yeah.
We start with the staff.
Yeah.
I think it's almost, it's
Yeah.
the same business.
Yes, some business.
I think people management, because I call talent and people management, is quite a skill that you need to develop. If you have issues with employees, let's start from who are they? How do they come? I think, is it last time? No, I think it's somewhere else I was talking about guarding the gate. Guarding the gate means the moment you allow people in, you already have to deal with them because they are inside. The best thing you can do is to guard the entrance. And I got this wisdom from someone. Who comes into your business, guard that by recruiting through the right process.
Yeah.
If you cannot handle family, for example, members, don't hire them. Don't hire people you can't fire. Once you have them, have clear roles and responsibilities for them. Have clear key performance indicators. Have clear goals for them so that we are discussing on performance, not so many other things. Have you delivered on your target?
Target, yes.
If you're not delivering, what is happening? Is it low motivation? Is it lack of skill? Because there's an induction process you need to have with your employees. If there's a way you want them to perform, then tell them, teach them, train them. If you've trained someone and they are not doing it, then check on other areas. But remember culture. Define the culture. Every business person is the pace setter for the culture they want in their business. If you want things to be done in a particular way, do them first. And then show the employees how to do it. If someone is not just working, let them go.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. For the steps to sell, cosmetics
And
again,
affordable platforms
and
for selling.
affordable platforms. I may not specifically say affordable platforms, but I would want to give that person an assignment to check where are the other people selling cosmetics, because cosmetics have a very specific target. Are you selling to shops or are you selling to end users? That's very important, because if you're selling to the shops of cosmetics, then you need to know where are they, where do they shop. But the most important thing is the e-commerce platform. Everybody today goes online first before they go physically. So be on the online platforms, be on Instagram, social media platforms like Facebook, depending on who is buying. But again, define your customer segment. Like I said, are you selling to the end users? Then where should you be? Are you selling to the shop or like you're distributing? Then how can you reach them? There's no one suit fit all, but you can at least understand your customer segment and know how they want to be reached. Then reach them that way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Susan from Kayole, we hear you loud and clear. She says, sometimes my business encounters a lot of, is it departments or debts, and feel like giving up. A lot of debts. A lot of debts and feel like giving up. What financial indicators should businesses closely monitor to ensure they are on the right track for growth?
Thank you. Every business gets into debt. And don't be lied to. I know we have faith, spiritual teaching. Is it spiritual or religious teaching?
Yeah.
But discourage debt. But I will tell you without a lie, every business borrows. Now, someone said,
And debt is good. If
Debt
managed
is good.
properly, it can manage your growth. It can help you grow.
good debt, yes. You leverage on debt. Someone said, if you owe the bank 50,000 or 10,000, then it's your problem. If you owe the bank 50 million, it's their problem. So, debt is good, and let's start from there. But number two, Doc, is planning. debt and debt management starts and ends with planning. There are several plans that you need to have. You need to have a cost plan. A cost plan defines all the costs that your business incurs. Then have a sales plan. How will you sell? Because that selling plan is what will help you to cover the cost. Because many people they know they will spend money, but they don't know how they will sell. You need to have a sales projection. In the next 6 months, these are my sales. So that you can see, will I manage this amount of debt? Because if you don't have the projection of how much is going to come in, you will not know how you're going to pay the debt. And you will end into a debt crisis. The other thing is have a debt access plan. Now a debt access plan is you have developed a cost plan and a sales plan. And you can see, so a cost plan and a sales plan give you what you call a cash flow plan. A cash flow plan is money in and money out. Month in, month out. Then you develop a cash flow plan. You can see at a point in the course of the month, I will have less sales and I'll be paying out more. So it's when you say, at this point, I need some injection of an amount. And you specifically know how much. Don't just go to borrow because the bank has told you you qualify, or someone is marketing some affordable loan or online loans. Borrow because you have a plan to borrow.
It needs to be financed.
Exactly. Is it in a month at a particular month in the year, or at a particular time of the, and that debt that comes in, how will it boost your sales so that it can be paid back by your business? So if you have a clear plan, you can manage debt.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, from Kawangware, John is saying, as a small business owner, I'm asking about strategies that businesses should prioritize in 2024, given the current economic landscape.
All right.
And if you can pick one or two.
Yeah. Because he has talked about the economic landscape.
Yes.
And it's actually not new. And it's good to know what we're facing now is never new. Every 5 years, the study shows that globally we go into a crisis and a recession. Almost like so it's a cycle. And you can almost predict.
Yes.
Even if we get back to a revival or a season of good economic times, another time, downtime will come. So it's a cycle. Now, how do you do? Number one, preparation.
Yeah.
Prepare for crisis. Preparation for crisis means if my business will not perform, what will I do? What are the options? There's something we call pivoting. Pivoting this is what I've been doing. A crisis has come and this is not working. A good, I think we talked about adaptability last time. A good business person is able to pivot his business. The way you navigate or the way the pilot navigates the winds and the storms. You should be able to pivot and focus on another direction that helps you to either for a period of time before you come back to your main activity or for a long time. So change with times. If it's a product that you're selling and now it's not selling, pivot. You can pivot processes, you can pivot products packaging, you can pivot even customer segment. You can go to a different market altogether because you don't have to die in one place. Try and study the market trends. What is happening? What is new in your segment? And then pivot towards that direction. So be adaptable and be agile as well. Yes.
Naitwa Emmanuel kutoka Rwaka. I'm enjoying your show very much here with my family. Barikiwa sana wakuu. Hata wewe pia ubarikiwe. Now Nelson is asking,
yes,
I'm here in Kasarani. I have a question. How can I create a positive work culture and provide incentives to keep my staff productive and happy?
Work culture, incentives, happiness.
I know there's some companies with a manager for happiness.
By the way, there's that departments that sort of just purely focus on that. So you are a small scale business person or a startup. The first thing is first be a leader. Be a leader. Leadership was defined by John Maxwell in a very interesting way. Leadership means I'm trying to look for that acronym. Number one is understand your employees. Encourage your employees. Help employees to be nurtured, or nurture your employees. Don't employ people and leave them on their own. Nurture them. And nurturing them means also duplicating yourself in them, training them, coaching them to be you. Sometimes we put a lot of expectation or high expectation on employees, but we have not prepared them for that. So nurture your employees by training them, empowering them to bring them to your level. Empowerment means also share responsibility. Give them rights to make mistakes or to make decisions and to make mistakes. By making mistakes, and you're closely watching. If I make a mistake and you're there, you tell me, hold on, this is how you should have done it. So you're leading them. A leader leads from the front. Then once you do that, then you need to help them to know how they should have done better. That way you have developed them. Now, after doing that, define the culture. We talked about this. Define the culture. We do this, this is how it's done. Number two, live the culture as a person. Then try and reward the culture. Rewarding here is not just monetary. Sometimes recognition. So-and-so has done well. Let's appreciate them. Put their picture on Facebook, best and the employee of the week. That is more than monetary reward. Then also branding your business. That's something that people forget. It's called workplace. Workplace management. Make the environment of your business conducive enough for employees to feel comfortable. Sometimes you want employees to perform, but the environment is completely unconducive. So make the workplace conducive so that employees can perform. So motivation is about sometimes go for lunch. My mentor in the bank, my immediate boss, used to take us for lunch. Sometimes you just pick you and say, let's go for lunch. You go and have lunch and he'll tell you, we are not discussing business. Tell me, let's talk about family. Let's talk about, and that's your boss. You know, he makes you feel motivated. Oh, if my boss can take me out for lunch, I'm happy here. Our chairman in the bank, every new management, a person coming into management, we used to have dinner in his house. That was the culture at Chase Bank. We used to, when I went to Chase Bank, within 1 month, we had dinner at the chairman's house. And there he told us stories. You know, I told you about stories. He could tell us stories, how the bank started, and we felt so accommodated and comfortable. That is motivation. We may not walk out with money, but that we had lunch with the chairman and his wife and the children, we felt so accommodated. And that's why Chase Bank, things happened, but it was one of the best employers we had in this country. So motivation is not just money. There are so many other things you can motivate them with. Caring, attending to their events, going for their, and even birthday parties, going for their burial events, just motivates them. So there's a lot we can talk.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Our time is very much gone, and maybe I'll just pick one more last question. We have Joel. Joel is saying, good morning, Doc. Asante sana for the show today. As the owner of my local flower shop, what marketing tactics can I use to attract more customers from my neighborhood and surrounding areas? I really want to find cost-effective ways to get the word out about my business.
Marketing is broad, quite broad. We may not talk about all the marketing approaches that you can deal with, but for you to develop a good plan, a good marketing plan, first you need to know your products and sell them, package them, describe them for your customers. Let customers know what you're doing, what you're offering. Whether you're doing that online or you're doing it somewhere, let the description of the product be done well. Number two, define good promotional activities. Those promotional activities can be even gift packages. I don't know how flowers, the flowers they are talking about here, they're the flowers that like the city hall, the city market flowers.
It seems like.
Yeah, so the packaging matters a lot. And then advertising on social media and describing your products. Like I said, tell stories. When do we need flowers? This flower is for this flower is for this. Have a show, have a small video clip recording that tells us about the flowers. Then proper targeting. Who needs flowers? Go to places where flowers are needed, whether it's events or it's a burial or whatever. make sure that your presence is felt. Networking is another thing. Network. Go to events where people buy flowers. And when you go to them, share your contacts. Have a business card that I do this, I provide these services. Those networking events give you a platform. Someone said, when you pay for a dinner, you meet a CEO of a company in a relaxed mode more than if you went to their office. And so going for networking events helps you to meet the right people. And so identify events where your customers go to and attend, whether it's church, whether it's barriers and all this, and people will be able to listen to you. So network properly, have proper packaging, have a flyer or a brochure that you can hand over, business cards, and also social media platforms. So there's no one suit fit for again, but you must make sure that, and then your physical evidence. Do you brand yourself? Do you brand your employees? Can we notice you easily in a meeting? So sometimes when you go to these networking events, brand yourself. Go in a t-shirt that has your name and the company, and people can easily pick you. Oh, you do this. And someone will ask, I've been looking for someone who can supply flowers. Go to offices where flowers are needed and distribute your flowers. So there are so many your business card. There's so many things you can do. We cannot define one, but again, Doc, we are available for this guidance.
Exactly.
If you're there and you need one-on-one support, please reach out. My office is actually here at Blessed House, opposite Garden City, Overcoming Faith Church building, on that floor number 70. We offer mentorship services and one-on-one coaching. So feel free to reach out.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pastor Kilonzo. Enoch, what do you make out of all this as we start to wind down?
Well, this is very interesting, Doc. I must appreciate the wealth of wisdom that the church has, and Kingdom Business Network for that matter. Because when I try to reflect and add all this, you talked about the 9 blocks of the business canvas. You know, when you read the Bible, it also has the 9 gifts of the Spirit. I was here chewing on that, and I was really excited. Because when you look at tools, I think we really need tools, because people are really struggling out there. In fact, in the Bible, Ecclesiastes 10:10, the Bible says, if the axe is dull and the user does not sharpen the edge, he will use a lot of strength. But now wisdom profits all. So we really encourage the people in the church to really join this platform, to follow, I'm meaning to subscribe. It's very important. You talked about networking.
Yeah.
Are we doing the closing remarks?
You can do all of them.
All of them. You have talked about networking, and I think that is a barrier that we need to break. Our bishop has given us an opportunity as a church to network. I also take this opportunity to invite you for the family, breaking the barriers of family. This very Sunday, he's going to be dealing with that. Yeah. So it's an opportunity for you to network. I know a lot of you have been seeing some of us here on TV. You wonder, how will I even meet that person? How will I meet the bishop? It's an opportunity. We are breaking barriers in all aspects, not just business. So I'll take this chance to invite you. Do not miss. Come and join us. Thank you so much.
Where is the church?
Well, that is very key. Where is the church? Yeah, Pastor Geoffrey has said on this very building, Blessed House. If you are on Blessed House, you can't fail to find our church. I think it is the best around this region. We really thank God.
Thika Road, opposite Garden City.
Yes, Thika Road, opposite Garden City.
Thank you.
We have a very nice service. So please come and find us here, and your life will not remain the same.
Thank you very much, Enoch. Pastor Kilonzo, might be your parting shots.
Thank you. My parting shot would be an encouragement to all entrepreneurs, business people. Whether you're starting or you're growing or you're declining, whatever stage of your business is, be motivated. Keep focus and know what you want to achieve. Start with the why. Why are you in business in the first place? Number 2 is everything is kingdom business. You need to also have God at the center of it all. Every time we do business, we are serving God's people. And if it pleases God, He is going to bless it. So please don't forget, in all thy doing, get understanding. But also fear the Lord, for it is the beginning of wisdom. You can do business, but if you don't subscribe to God's love and mercy, then it's going to fail. But again, if you love God and you subscribe to His mercy, do business. Otherwise, you still be miserable. So I'm challenging business people, stick to your business, keep focused, love God. I'm encouraging people who are in church and they love God. Please do something with your hands. God blesses the work of our hands, not our prayers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Kilonzo. And once again, we're so much glad to hold you and to host you in this program. Thank you very much, Enoch. And for our viewer, we are so much glad to be with you. You listening to us, we don't take it for granted. We are here to serve you. We are here to equip you. We are here to establish a kingdom business network community that is going to go places, do great things for God and in the business circles. And if we have a big network, imagine how much we can be able to achieve as a team. Sure. With that, God bless you very much and stay tuned for future episodes of this program. God bless.
You can share our numbers?
Yes, you can.
Well, please, if you want to call or write, 0725-328-386. You may want to engage me directly. I'm open. Just drop me a message or a WhatsApp message. 0725-328-386. And God bless you.
God bless you very much, viewer. God bless you. See you next time. Like the introduction. Yeah. So we do all the 9.
Yes.
Do the 9 now.
And now we can
then we
say
focus
next time,
each
can
one.
we focus? Customer segment.